What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode. Coach Joe here with Heartletics.com, and let's talk all about the price of winning. Everybody wants to be a winner. Now, if you ever played any kind of sports in your life growing up, or maybe you play sports currently right now, you understand, that, hey, the importance of winning. Nobody wants to play a sport. Nobody wants to play a game and lose. That's not fun at all. But at the end of the day, a lot of guys stop playing the game, right? And I'm not talking about sports at this point. I'm talking about life. And life is a game. But you got to learn how to play. But at the end of the day, regardless if it's a sport that you're playing or if it's this game of life, you need to have a winner's mindset. But you first need to understand that there's a price of winning. And this is the thing that most guys just in today's society just don't understand. And I don't know why. I don't know why at all. I think it's just because everything's given to us. Everything's so easy. We're not made to be hard. We're not made to be tough anymore. In fact, everything in life is very easy. And that's breeding us as men to be soft. And that's not fair. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to me. It's for sure not fair to our kids because, they're the next generation. And if we're soft, how do you think they're going to be? I want you to think, almost everybody that I know has played some kind of sport. But even if you haven't, think about maybe your favorite sports team. Think about maybe your favorite sports athlete. You got to have that winner's mindset. You have to, but you have to understand that there's a price of winning. It's going to require hard work. It's going to require discipline. It's going to require some late nights, some sacrifices. And at the end of the day, here's the reality. You can try and still lose. That's the price of winning. But at the end of the day, here's the thing. You can almost guarantee one thing. If you're not going to at least try to win, you're going to guarantee that you will lose. And this game of life, it's time you start playing. Honestly, just take a step back. No matter where you are right now, no matter where you are in terms of your marriage, your occupation, your health, your finances, just take a step back and just observe everything. Take 1,000 eyes per bird's view and just ask yourself this. If you continue doing everything that you're doing right now, where will you be at in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years? And if let's just say it's going to be harder for you based on everything that you're currently doing right now, you need to be determined. You need to be pissed off. You need to be hungry to make a change. Because at the end of the day, no one's going to make a change for you. And if you can realistically take yourself out of the present moment and just focus on the future and say, okay, wherever I am right now, the road that I'm leading to each and every day, if it's going to be harder or if it's going to be easier, where is that road leading to? And if the answer is going to be harder for you, if your health is going to be more deteriorating, if your relationship is going to be even worse, if your finances are going to be even worse, you got to be hungry to make a change. It's just like when you were a kid playing a sport. You're practicing, right? Let's say you're playing basketball. You're running the suicides. You're doing the layup lines. You're practicing your jumper. You're practicing the hand. Everything, right? You're showing up. You're putting in the work. Some days when I had to play basketball and practice, I had 2-a-days. I had practice in the mornings before school and then right after school. Those are long days, but at the end of the day, hey, it feels really good when you end up winning. It feels really good when you're outpacing the competition because you decided to put in the work when the competitors weren't. Now, here's the competitor of life that's probably beating you constantly each and every day. It's you. It's the bad wolf. It's the ego. There's nobody out there that's actually your competitor. It's you versus you. It's me versus me. And you need to be hungry to make that change. You need to be hungry and determined to say, hey, I'm going to be at least 1% better today than who I was yesterday. Now, the problem is most guys don't understand that work ethic. Most guys don't understand that it's going to require some discipline. Most guys don't get that. They don't. And they need to. Why? Because everything has little to do with you. And it has a big effect on the people that are currently watching you. Who's watching you right now? Ask yourself that. Who is watching you right now? Is it your coworkers? Is it your family? Is it your kids? What are the examples that you want to be known about you? I preach about living this lifestyle, about leaving a legacy, going above and beyond. Hey, at the end of the day, you have one life to live. Tomorrow's not even promised. So what can you do today to have a positive effect, not just in your own life, but in the lives of those that are watching you? That's the mindset that you need. That's the true winner mindset. Because at the end of the day, just like in sports, you can grind, you can put in the work, you can show up to practice, have the late nights. At the end of the day, you still might not win. And that's okay. But at the end of the day, this is 100% guarantee. If you're not going to at least try, you will fail. You will lose. And this game of life, this is a fun game to play. And at the end of the day, the older you get, it should be like fine wine. It only gets better with age. Why? Because this is life. And the more you go through it, the more adversities, the more sacrifices, the more, late nights, the hard work, everything like that you put into it, it's just like building a muscle. It's going to get bigger. It's going to get stronger. It's going to get leaner. It's going to get faster. And imagine that you have the same mindset when it comes to working out your mental muscles, like discipline, consistency, willpower. Man, it only gets better. Because at the end of the day, when you improve on those, and the older you get, you start acquiring more skills, you start learning more knowledge, man, it just gets so much fun. But the problem is that most guys stop playing that game. They stop playing the game of life because they feel like they're in last place. They feel like, why even bother? They feel like, man, it's too late. I'm in my 30s, I'm in my 40s, I'm in my 50s, I'm in the 60s. What's the point of even trying now? And that's the wrong mindset to have. That's that loser's mindset. You can't be a winner with a loser's mindset. That's a proven fact. You have to be hungry to make a change. You have to want it as bad as you want to breathe if you were suffocating. You have to want it as bad as if, let's just say you're starving and there was, some food in front of you and you're getting ready to scarf it down. You have to want it because your life depends on it. Because it does. Because the minute you start focusing on having that winner's mindset and really going after your dreams, really going after your goals, that's when you really start living life. And that's where you build that unshakable confidence that you're not going to worry about what other people say, what other people think. You're going to have that tunnel vision. And that tunnel vision is going to be geared towards success. And you need to be hungry for success. No matter if there's going to be, a shiny trophy at the end of the day or not. Because at the end of the day, remember, if you don't go out there and try to win the game of life, you're destined to lose. What's the legacy that you want to leave for your kids? What do you want other people to say about you? Do they want to say man, John Smith was in his 40s, he didn't give up. John Smith was in his 50s, he didn't give up. John Smith was in his 60s, he did not give up. He decided to show up each and every day, not only for himself, but for his family. That's the winner's mindset. And when you adapt that in your life, I promise you, more doorways, more opportunities are going to start to occur and start to happen in your life. Now, you did not hear me say at all, this is going to be easy, because it's not. It's like anything in life worth doing. It's going to require sacrifice, it's going to require some discipline, and it's going to be hard in the beginning. But anything worth having in life is going to require all that. Anything in life worth having it's going to be hard in the beginning. I like to use some analogies to just make it very easy for myself to understand, hey, when life's throwing me curveballs, how to stay mentally strong to continue to put one foot in front of the other. Think about a bouncy ball. When you're kids, we're little toddlers, everybody has a bouncy ball. Well, what happens when you have a bouncy ball? You bounce it down on the ground and it bounces right back up. Okay? Let's put that same analogy of a bouncy ball as if it's pain, adversity, injury, sickness, whatever the case may be, losing your job, whatever. Any kind of stress and adversity that life throws you, act like it's a bouncy ball. And you got to understand this, that the harder the stress, the harder the pain, the bigger the ball. And the harder, right, you throw it down on the ground, guess what? There's going to be a lot of strife. There's going to be a lot of adversity. There's going to be a lot of pain, right? Force hitting down on that ground. But here's the beauty of all that. When you don't give up and when you continue to put one foot in front of the other each and every day and just focus on that winner's mindset and not give up, not quit, not surrender, that bouncy ball bounces higher than if it was just a little bit of a bounce. That's the same way you need to look at your life. No matter the pain, no matter the struggles, act like a bouncy ball. Let it utilize you to bounce even higher, to have a better comeback after maybe a setback. Think about like a bow and arrow. You have this bow, right? And you have this arrow. The farther you pull back the bow and there's that tension, guess what? The farther that arrow is going to go. That's that winner's mindset. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you hit the target or not. If you hit the bullseye or not. What matters is that, hey, that arrow is going a lot farther than where it was yesterday. And that's the reminder to you to not give up on your goals, not give up on your dreams. The price of winning is tough, but I like to use this analogy. Regret, right? Regret has two different ways, okay? Two different principles to it. You have the regretted discipline, which weighs ounces, or you have the regret, right, of not going forward on your dreams, of just giving up, right? And that failure, that's going to weigh tons. There's going to be so much pain to that. The last thing that you want, because this is the last thing that I want, and I'm pretty sure this is the last thing that anybody wants, is to go through the course of their life and then all of a sudden be in their 70s, their 80s, their 90s, and looking back with just regret, with just, man, I wish I could go back in time and change it all. And the worst thing is that knowing that maybe other people, your family, has also been leading in your footsteps, where now they are making horrible choices for their life. It's pain. It's pain. That regret, right? Two different pains. And at the end of the day, once again, this isn't a sunshine and roses type of podcast. This is a podcast for you to just wake up and for you to start feeding the good wolf. Because at the end of the day, once again, if you take yourself out of the present moment and look 5, 10, 15 years in the future, and if let's just say like, hey, it's only going to get harder for you based on the current actions that you're doing right now, use that as motivation. Use that as inspiration. It doesn't have to be hard. You just need to stop giving up on yourself. Stop feeding the bad wolf that's going to constantly make up these excuses. Stop feeding the ego that thinks that you know how to do everything on your own. Start showing up for yourself because you deserve it. Your family deserves it. And remember, there's only one thing that's certain about the price of winning. If you're not going to try to win, you're guaranteed to lose. So at the end of the day, what do you have to give? All it requires is just 1% better each and every day. You can do that. Anybody can do that. And let's just say even if you don't reach your goals at the end of the day, I bet you anything, you're going to be an inspiration for those around you because you didn't give up on your goals. Guys, keep moving forward. Even when you fail forward. Keep moving forward. 1% better each and every day. That's it. Small strides lead to great big success. as long as you don't give up. Consistency is the key. Guys, I really hope that you guys got some inspiration from today's podcast. If you did, go ahead and share this with a family member, share this with a loved one, share this maybe on your social media page. At the end of the day, this was just a daily reminder to you to stop giving up. All you have to do is just move forward. That's it. It doesn't have to be hard, but you need to make a promise to yourself that you deserve it. Your family deserves it. Your future self deserves it. Stop giving up. As always, guys, this has been Coach Joe with the Heartletics podcast. I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace out, Girl Scouts.